Yeah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that do well and rule well. Salutations to the occupant of four winds, preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever, the hopeful elect. The elect, Shalom, to the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel through their father, and have come back to the fold. Shalom to you sisters, you Akwathium, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. And right here it says, dude caught a angel sitting under the moon, right? And I mean, that's no here nor there, whether you see it or not. But the reason why I'm doing this lesson is for a purpose, because my son told me he had a dream that he seen an angel blowing a trumpet, right? So this kind of like, when I seen this, I was like, wow, that kind of spoke to me. But then a couple days went by, I didn't do the lesson yet, and then my son mentioned it today. I'm on the way taking him to school. So when's the angel gonna blow that trumpet? So I'm like, oh, so this is inspired by the dream of my son, and of course this man catching this on camera.
I'm chilling, right? And some say, look over there. Man, this dude is sitting under the moon. Whoever this is sitting up under the moon now. You hear me? Now, I know I'm in my right mind. I know y'all can see this dude sitting under the moon, dog. And he done turned his head and went to looking at me, man. Look at this. Look at this dude, man. And he got some kind of like bull or I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but we know what that is. It's a trumpet, right? A shofar, right? Yeah, so this is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Blow the shofar in Zion, right? And ultimately, that's what we do every day on the highways and the byways, the digital epistles, right? We may come by Israelite, in our passing, and may say something to him, here and there. And I'm saying, to see if you can receive what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is putting down, right? So it all depends on the spirit and whether the Lord wants you or not, right? So it says, blow the shofar in Zion, right? You so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are Zion, right? Zion meaning memorial, and the Lord said He's going to remember, but He's only going to remember what the elect on this side, according to it, right? It says, and the sound of an alarm, right? An alarm is what? To wake you up, right? Right? The Lord said it's high time to wake out of sleep, but alarm is also what? For danger, right? Something's going wrong, right? In the holy mountain, let all the inhabitations, right? Because the Israelites are scattered around the world. So all around the world, we have to let them know all the habitations of the earth tremble, right? Because why? The decree is going out, right? It's time for judgment, right? It's going to be time for the blowing of that last trumpet, for the day of Yahweh comes, for it is near at hand. So this is what we're basically saying, man. We're warning you. Get your life together, get your house in order, get your spirit together. Stop sinning. Rehearse the righteous acts. Believe in Yahweh Shai, His Son, right? That He, was sent on this earth to die for you, and only for you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and not the whole world, right? And that, the Lord made the world for your sake, for the Israelites' sake, not, and that means the people that's in it, for them to be slaves under the Israelites, right? Yeah, so this is Google. This is basically WWABC, like the network. This is ABC. Religion and Ethics says blowing the shofar was a well-known multi-purpose called in biblical times. The scholar Sadia Jayan identified 10 ancient occasions when the shofar was used. It announced the creation, right, from the beginning, the revelation at Mount Sinai, the exhortations of prophets. It proclaimed a military advance. It called for military retreat, right? So it's a multi-purpose thing. So in this time, what is it's getting ready to make a sound for military advancement, right? Yeah, this is Ephesians chapter 6, the Amplified version. It says, in conclusion, right, getting from the beginning to the end of a thing to get the whole matter, right? The Lord said, the conclusion of the whole matter is to fear Yahweh and keep His commandments. It's the conclusion of the whole matter, and this is further expounding on that. In conclusion, be strong in the Most High. Be empowered through your union with Him, right? And you're united through what? The point that you're an Israelite, the point that you were called, right? No one's chosen yet, but you were called, right? And then each lesson you do bring you closer to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which makes it a union, right? It says draw your strength from Him. See? And you got to have that understanding that that's where your strength come from. That strength which His boundless might provides, right? Because all of it's provided by the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? And Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shai being the Son, which are two totally separate entities, but they're on one accord, right? That's part of being a union, like a marriage. You're two separate people, but you become one. Why? Because you come in agreement, right? The Lord said, let any two come in agreement is touching a thing and praying. So that's what the Most High and His Son is. They come in an agreement and they're touching a thing, which is you. You're called, right, to do this. So it says, put on the Most High's whole armor, the armor of a heavy armed soldier, right? So this is it's dealing with the mental part of it, but it gets physical too, right? This is gonna get physical too, but it's dealing with the mental. It says which the Most High supplies that you might be successfully to stand against all the strategies and deceitfulness of the devil, right? And that's mental strategies, right? For we are not for we are not wrestling with flesh and blood, right? So it's saying that as you go, you understand that this whole thing it goes in the spiritual world first. The spiritual world is realer than this world, right? So everything starts in the the spiritual world, and then it manifests in this physical world. So you got to be careful. So it says, for we are not wrestling with flesh and blood, contending, right? So this is a fight. You're contending only with physical physical opponents, right? So in order to give you the understanding of it, it's letting you know there are physical opponents, but this is not dealing with the physical opponent right now. It's just talking about the physical. Not only are you dealing with physical opponents, you're dealing with spiritual opponents. It's giving you that. Not only, right? So let's see. Yeah, yeah. See, not see, contending only with physical opponents, right? See, but against, now this is where you're gonna get physical, right? This is where where it gets
Despotism.
right. So against the despotism, right? So let's look up the despotism.
Despotism. Despotism.
Despotism, the exercise, right? Because it tells you that they practice it because it's in the power of their hands, right? Dealing with the wicked, these the wicked that's in high places within this world, right? Because they pass these laws, and this proves that this it went into something talking about something spiritual, but it's gonna show you how the spiritual manifests in this world. So right here it says the despotism. It says the exercise of absolute power, right? That which Esau Edom has, especially in a cruel and was it a cruel and oppressive way. So who have oppressed the Israelites? The ghettos, the vadios, the reservations. Prior to that, right? 1 million Jews fled into to Africa. Prior to that, you got you know, all these different nationalities, these people. So how is God gonna save everyone, right? See, because the devil, what is it?
Tyranny.
Tyranny. The devil's not able to just give you tyranny, right? He has to have a physical counterpart.
Dictatorship.
A dictatorship, dealing with someone ruling over you, right? The earth is given to the hands of the wicked. Let me go back right here. So the despotism, right? Tyranny, right? Oppressive, right? Dictatorship, right? And the spirit doesn't have dictatorship over you in that manner. I mean, you can get, what do you call it? You can get possessed or whatever, however that goes. But the main, but that's not the same thing as being a dictator, right? Right. So it says against powers, against the powers, against the what, the 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 master spirits. That's what they want to give you. Try to So because there are spirits, right? But then there's physical people, and then it says, who are the what? the rulers of this present darkness, right? And when you go into who who are the world rulers, right? So a spirit is not a world ruler. You know what I'm saying? I think I just yeah. So it's saying who are world rulers. So there's no spirit walking around ruling the world, right? Right. So Salakia on that I jumped it, but to get back to what I'm saying, there's no spirit that's ruling the world. So that's going back into the physical, going back into there, being able to oppress you, to be a dictator, right? Right, a world ruler of this present darkness, right? Talking about in this world, against the spirits, against the spirit forces against spirit forces of wickedness, right? Because they pray to Satan on the left hand side, right? In the in heavenly supernatural spheres, right? But that's who they pray to. They pray to to Satan in those heavenly spiritual spheres, but they're physical people who rule the world, right? Which means these are the people who are in tune with Satan, right? The Bilderbergs, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, the Rockefellers, the Clintons, the Bidens, the Trumps, all these people who are in cahoots with this, the MOTB, the New World Order, right? Yeah, so this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 6. It said, now, brethren, right? So he's a Hebrew Israelite, Apostle Paul, right, from the tribe of Benjamin. He even said it in Romans 9, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's about his brethren, his kinsmen, according to the flesh, and you can't get around that, right? But somehow you devils like to try. Well, down here it says Gentile. Well, obviously, if he just said my kinsmen, my brethren, according to the flesh, which you can't get around, those Gentiles are talking about Israelites, right? If I speak unto you, speaking with tongues, what shall I profit? Right? Which is talking about speaking to you in another language, not just speaking to you, whatever these people came up with, right? Saying it's an angel, it's an angel language, which an angel will not speak like, because that's gibberish. It doesn't make sense, right? Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? And the Lord says, let everybody deal decently in order. And that's not order. That's crazy. That's madness, right? So that's why he said, what shall it profit you if I spoke like that, or even if I spoke in another language? If I come up to you speaking Spanish and you don't speak Spanish, but I'm breaking to you down all the prophecies, I'm breaking to you all manners of secrets, and giving you basically the way to get to heaven, right? Like the giving you the keys of David, right? But I'm speaking to you in Spanish, but you don't speak Spanish. I'm speaking to you in Chinese, but you don't speak Chinese, right? It doesn't profit you, because that's what it's talking about, right? So it says, except I speak to you either by revelation, right? Something that's going to reveal something to you. But if I'm going to reveal it to you, I have to reveal it to you in the language that you understand, right? or by knowledge, right? The Lord said He'll stir up the pure spirit within you, and He will stir up your pure what remembrance, right? And it'll allow you to have the knowledge, right? Because it's in you. It just needed to be pulled out, which that goes into educate, right? Education, to draw out what's in you already, which you would have to be an Israelite in order to do that, or you would have to be also somewhere a prophet, or meant to be called at least, you know what I mean, by prophesying or by doctrine, right? Understanding the scriptures. But I gotta give you that understanding through a language that you speak, right? This is why the Lord allowed the Bible to be in so many different languages, right? I mean, right. So this is Deuteronomy chapter 30. I'm gonna just start at 11. I mean, you can go up a little bit, but I'm just gonna start right at 11. Right. For this commandment which I commanded thee this day, it is not hidden from thee. So we're broadcasting this through the worldwide internet, right, around the world. Neither is it far off, right? Anybody can go on YouTube or the internet and find the truth at this point. It is not in heaven, right? You don't got to go try to get on a plane and try to fly up to which, I mean, that ain't going to help you anyway. You know what I mean? Was Esau got these rocket ships? You will not get past the Van Allen's belt, which they haven't. They try to say they've been to the moon, but they haven't. They haven't been past the Van Allen belt, which is radiation. They haven't been past it, so you can't make it past that part. You won't. You will not get to the third heaven. So that's a waste of time, right? It is not in heaven, that thus should it say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea. So you, hey, look, here we are in the fourth part of the world, and that part is the ancient world, right? So it should be, because that's the ancient world where Yahushua was at, where all the prophecies, where all the things happen, in the ancient world, through all those ancient empires, from Egypt all the way down to the first leg of Rome, and here we are in the second leg of Rome now, right? So being in the second leg of Rome, we don't have to go back to the ancient times. Why? Because the Bible has been put in many different languages, right? And it's on the internet, right? Right? You can pull it up in your phone, which that's what I'm using right now, the Bible in my phone, right? So it says, you don't gotta go over the sea. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thus should it say, who shall go over the sea for us? So even here, way on the fourth part of the earth, the four corners of the earth, on the four corners of the earth, in the last part of the earth, we don't have to do that, right? It says, for us, and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very nigh unto thee, in the mouth, in thy mouth, and in thy heart, right? Your mind, your lob, your mind, that thus mayest do it, right? Right. So it says, this is our First Corinthians chapter 14, verse 7. Even things without life giving sound, whether piped or harped, right? Being music. It's not alive, but they tell you that it's, when you play it, it's like that thing was live, like you made it come alive, because you made it, basically said that music, it spoke to me, you brought it alive, right? So that's basically ultimately what we do. We prophesy. We make this thing become alive, right? Except they give a distinction in the sound. So we're giving you the correct sounds. Because if you can hit a thing, what is it? What's it called? A guitar. If you hit a B flat, and it's not meant to be hit, it gives it makes the sound of the music sound off, right? But you have to get the right distinction. How shall it be known, right? What is piped or harped? Well, how are you gonna know what was it that was piped or harped, right? For if a trumpet give an uncertain, right? It's confusing, right? So I'm gonna hear we prophesying, we telling you something that's what confusing, right? Sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle, and ultimately what it's coming down to. My son was like, hey, he seen a dream that an angel was blowing the trumpet, right? Right. And so we're as men of the Lord, we're blowing forth the trumpet of warning you that what the battle is coming, right? So likewise ye except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, right? So if you speak English, I gotta speak to you in English. Plain and simple. That's why the Lord said it will never be so far that you got to go up to heaven. You got to go over here. I gotta go over here. I gotta say shama so, and I gotta figure out who can interpret that for me. There's no one. That's an uncertain sound, right? So that things that they tell you in that's tongues is BS, man, right? How shall it be known what is spoken, right? Exactly. For ye shall speak into the air, right? Yeah, you're speaking nonsense to the air. So, because where can I, well, that's the angel, that's a heavenly angel language. Okay, well, where can I find an angel that can come and tell me what that means? Which is basically nothing because it's not a language. It's nothing, right? It's not a heavenly language because the heavenly language is Hebrew. When he cast Paul down, he spoke to him in Hebrew. So you're not gonna the angel not speaking something way out there. It don't make no sense. There are it may be so many kinds of voices in the world. So you got a lot of different voices in the world, but these are different languages, right? And none of them is without signification, right?
Signification.
Signification, the representing or conveying of meaning. So it has to have meaning, right? It's conveying. Transport. It has to be able to you say something and it could be transported into that other language. It can't be shamalama. It just that doesn't transport into any words, right? Yet channeled.
Fetch.
Fetched, yeah, be taken, fetched, delivered, right?
Emanate.
Right. Emanate. Here you go. Transfer, yeah. So it has to transfer into a language, You can have an interpreter and have them transfer, but the things that's being transferred to you is what? Prepare for the battle. But I'm speaking to you in the language that you understand. A trumpet is being blown, right? And it's for what? For the battle. We're not telling you something that it's we're blowing the trumpet like come eat when there's a battle, right? Yeah, because not only do we warn you about the MOTB, right? The Karagma, the Karax, the Engrapho, right? The digital all, right? Right? Which is going to give you all access to the new world to come, right? Right? You will not be able to buy or sell without this, you know. So we give you the understanding of that. So we also give you what? Say Revelation 11 and 14, the second woe, which is World War II, that's already happened. It's past, right? That already happened. And behold, the third woe come quickly, right? Which we're pretty much in the third woe. They haven't just came out and said it, but technically we're here. We're in the third woe, right? And this is what we're waiting for. The seventh angel sounded, right, which is going into what? A trumpet. And there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdom of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord, right? This world, this present world is going to pass away, right? Esau's the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And of his Hamashiach, right? The Most High, Yahweh of his Hamashiach, which is Yahweh Shai. And he shall reign forever and ever, right? And that seventh trump. So we know what that the guy was saying. He seen looked like an angel, and it had like some type of bull, which we know that's a shofar, right? Yeah. So like I said, so hopefully you this is Job 5. Be happy, behold, right? Which we should look pay attention. Behold, happy is the man whom Yahweh correcteth. Therefore, despise not the chastening of the Almighty, right? Almighty goes into Alashaja, right? Because it seems the Lord, the Lord, he's no joke, man. The Lord is a balanced God, a balanced power. For he maketh sore, right? So you know what I mean. He can send the demons after you. He can send the angels after you, right? Right? He maketh sore and bindeth up his wounds, right? See, he gets in the angels to bind you up, to make his wound to make to he woundeth, and his hands make whole, right? So he can send those demons to wound you, or make you, or send the righteous angels to make you whole, right? A balance. And this is the point right here, because this is the time that we're coming into. That second woe has already passed, which is World War II, and we're in the third woe. So we give you the understanding. He shall deliver thee in the sixth trouble, right? That trumpet. And in the that seventh trumpet, when all heck breaks loose, all holy righteousness of judgment, right? It's gonna have to break forth. In the seventh, there shall none evil touch thee, right? So that's the thing that we tell you. So basically, we're blowing the trumpet to give you warning, right? So this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, right? So you're going through that now. What famine? And we, through great millstone, have been warning you from the apostles on down, right? And really, for years, right? Before that, the elders, were prophesying before that, right? So from Abba on down to today. Yeah, so the full storehouses, right, which we're having that now. You having a what is it called, a supply chain. So we've been telling you that was going to come. Suddenly shall suddenly be found empty, and that happened. And slowly but surely, that's what people are doing. People are buying in bulk secretly right now, right? And the trumpet, right, that seventh trumpet is going to be blown, shall give a sound which, when every man heareth, right, and it's going to be a thing that everybody's going to hear around the world when it happens. They shall be suddenly afraid. Yeah, you're gonna be. Hey, trust me, I know. And that time shall friends fight one another, right? For the lack of bread, for the lack of bread, lack of understanding. After another against another, like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs, the fountains of the fountains shall stand still, right? And when they stand still, what builds up like equali and like because water needs to keep flowing. That's what makes it where you could be able to drink it. If it stands still, which a lot of people might start doing, it, they start building up their own little dam, which they've been doing that over in the Middle East, right? Because that water is actually supposed to flow, right? But they put a dam. I think it's Saudi Arabia or Sudan, one of them. But they put a dam between those people, and so now those other they don't get water like they should. And they're talking about that happening here in America. Water's drying up, right? So the springs, the fountains stood still, and there, and in 3 hours shall they not they yeah in 3 hours they shall not run. Yeah, it's gonna be no more streams running. And it's gonna take not long, right? So it says, whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world, right? So, hey, call all Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutation to the Akim and the four winds, preaching the truth with sincerity, risking your lives more now than ever. The hopeful elect, the elect, Shalom. To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but bloodline goes back to Israel and have come back to the fold through your father. Shalom. To your sisters, you Akhwathiim, who listen and learn under your husband, which is your spiritual leader, with meekness and with silence and above all.